Okay, I think first of all, the topic of social media and artificial intelligence and just the use of technology very broadly is going to be a major theme. First of all, of the pontificate of Pope Leo XIV.
Yeah.
And it's something that's going to come up repeatedly in the next several months.
Yeah.
We will soon have the canonization of St. Carlo Acutis, who is very much considered a digital missionary, and his work using the internet, and he sort of comes along like early social media age. So he's not really of the social media age, but he's sort of at the dawn of it before he
the prototypical digital
away.
Missionary.
Yeah, but like, so his thing was creating the website that has all of the Eucharistic miracles, and there's a tremendous beauty in all of that. And from the dawn of the internet age, John Paul II encouraged people to use the internet to evangelize, to make it a place where good information could be put out there. Benedict XVI echoed that. But there's this difference, I think, now with social media, and Pope Leo has made clear and explicit reference to AI and the challenges that artificial intelligence presents, especially because there's so much stuff out there now that like Leo himself has already had these fake things created about him. That he said these things and he didn't. And it's sort of taking Pope-ish sounding things.
Yeah.
Like, this sounds like a thing that Leo could have said.
Right.
Or it's pulling from various sources of like Catholic thought, Catholic speakers, or various figures in the Catholic Church, and kind of mashing together these things and then saying this is what Pope Leo said, when and he never said those things. Now, fortunately, we have a pretty clear record of what Pope Leo said, because we have literal public appearances, and his homilies and his other writings or his other speeches or greetings are all very carefully cataloged by the Holy See.
Right.
And the other great advantage that we have is that Pope Leo sticks to a script. This is one of actually my favorite characteristics of our Holy Father.
I didn't realize that.
If you watch him speak, notice this, like Pope Leo has a tremendous fluency. He speaks very freely when he speaks in Italian. He speaks very freely when he speaks in Spanish, and of course English is his native language. So there's a freedom of expression that he has, but he speaks very carefully also. So as much as he's very free in those languages, he's also really careful in what he says.
He's not shooting from the hip.
Yeah, what you're going to see is that when he speaks, he's speaking from his prepared text. And so even though he's using a prepared text, there's still something very natural about how he is. You get the sense of the man, I think, and this is a tremendously good thing. But what I really appreciate about him is that he speaks from his prepared text, which means that there's not a moment where he says something that's a little bit off track, or this is something that Pope Francis fell into many times in his ministry, that he would say something, and because he said it in such an off-the-cuff sort of way, it was easy to misinterpret. Or the context was sort of lost. Whereas by sticking to his text, you can't really misinterpret Leo. You can't really take something and say, I wonder what he meant by that, because you have the full text of everything that he said right in front of you. And that's a really important thing, because he's always on camera. Well, there's a gift in that, yes. But because he's also, this is also a prudent thing. Because he's on camera, because his words are all recorded, like just to have a clarity about what he said is super great.
Totally. I mean, it makes me think about, I think it was Joe Parada on Restless was telling me about the, what is it? I don't know. I don't want to say the social construct of being polite, but like why being polite is out of respect for other people. And maybe that makes more sense in that, like he was talking about dress, and he was talking about like fancy dinnerware, fancy to me, perhaps just appropriate for him. But something that like it sets the stage so everybody knows what to do in certain social circumstances.
Sure.
Like it sets the it sets the table for you, if you will, to potentially extend that metaphor.
See what you did there.
But so like that's something that's a gift to us, that it's from a prepared text, because now when we say, well, what does this mean? Like we can actually go through and analyze things, you know, and he's aware of that, I'm sure, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like a service to the people of God.
Yeah.
Which
the
is
other
really
element
kind.
of it. Yeah. The other element of it that's so important is when he does that, he is allowing his office as Pope to be the thing out front rather than his own personality or his own style. He has adopted, and this is an interesting thing. There's an article a couple days ago that I read that talked about how Pope Leo so we've just, as we're recording this, we've just hit about 100 days of his pontificate. We're just over the 100-day mark. Yeah.
I didn't realize it had been that long already.
Now, let's say what this episode is not. Right?
Yeah,
this episode is not a breakdown of the first 100 days of Pope Leo. And unlike when you can do this with a presidency, what are the first 100 days of this presidential term? We can't do that with a pope because we don't know how long he'll be pope. The first 100 days, they can be telling. It's not that they can't tell you something. It's just that we just don't do that with the pope. But in any case, we have just passed 100 days with Pope Leo. I'm not sure exactly when this particular episode will come out, but in any case, as we're recording it, that's where we are. So Leo, in these 100 days, this article was saying, has kept about as low a profile as it's possible for him to keep.
Wow.
And who knows exactly why he did that. But the thing that has really emerged very, very clearly is that he consults very broadly. He likes to listen to people. He likes to meet with them. So rather than just coming in and firing from the hip and just saying whatever's on his mind, his style is very much one of, let me get a sense of where everybody's at.
Right.
And then I'll lay it out. I'll lay down, this is what needs to happen, or based on all these things that I'm hearing, here's how I want to communicate this. At the same time, he has very clearly made a point that the technological element of our world and our society is something that he wants to proclaim the gospel into. The whole use of technology, especially the electronic means of media and communication, and especially the internet and social media, he wants to be able to intelligently proclaim the gospel in those places. And he's recognizing the threat that those places can be to Christian living and to the efficacy of the gospel.
Yeah.
I'm saying, those are my words. Those are not Leo's words, by the way. When I say that, maybe I'm reading into some things here, or maybe I'm adding my own spin, and I'll own that. I'm okay with that. But there is something about the whole like internet world and social media and AI that could be used as a tremendous tool, but there's also something I think that is actually an obstacle to the proclamation of the gospel.
Thanks for watching today's video. Let us know what you thought down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.